I really don't even know what to say. It's been an interesting week. It seems like nothing is going right for the Baltimore Ravens. And just when I thought it couldn't get worse, just when I thought that this team was at its absolute lowest, I went on YouTube, I went on social media, saw it on social media as well. And what's that thing I'm talking about? Well, it's a couple of podcasters that the Baltimore Ravens have in their locker room. Kyle Van Noy, just a day after the Chiefs loss. Marlon Humphrey, just a day after the Chiefs loss as well. Marlon reacts to Ravens-Chiefs loss. And I get it, these have been out for a while. And I originally wasn't going to talk about it, but I've reached my wits' end with it because it's absolutely ridiculous. And honestly, I'm pretty speechless about this. I really am. And it's ironic that I'm saying that because I'm about to talk for about 10 to 12 minutes on this subject. So it's funny to say I'm speechless when I have actually a lot of thoughts and a lot of words I want to get to. But it's ridiculous that 24 hours after you absolutely get dominated and fall to 1-3, you got two of your players. And yeah, they might have injuries. Kyle Van Noy didn't play in that game. Marlon Humphrey left that game. Guess what? I don't care. I don't care. They're putting out podcasts reacting to the games. That's ridiculous. And I also hear you saying, but Joey, you're being such a boomer right now. Take a breath. Calm down. Every team has podcasters. Yeah. But not every team's defense is absolutely horrific. Not every team is 1-3 after coming into the season being the favorites to win the Super Bowl. And injuries, nope, they're not an excuse because you lost week 1, you lost week 3, and sure, week 3 you didn't have Nnamdi Madubuike, but you pretty much had everybody else. And you got embarrassed on Monday Night Football, then to go on the road and get embarrassed by the Kansas City Chiefs. Not every team has given up 133 points for the first 4 weeks of the season. Not every team is on track to allow the most points ever in the history of the National Football League. So yeah, every team might have podcasters. Amon-Ra St. Brown's got one. Micah Parsons has one. But not every team is 1-3. I think of Ray Lewis. I think of Ed Reed. I think of the absolute legends of this franchise. Do you think that if those two guys in 2010, that season started 1-3, do you think those guys would go on the next day on their own podcast and talk about the losses? Talk about starting the season 1-3? No, they wouldn't. Because they're leaders. They were focused. They were locked in at all times. And I'm not saying I want these players to be robots. Facility, home, home, facility, facility, home, home, stadium. I don't want that. Just have a little feel. And if you don't see a problem with this, then there's no reason for you to keep watching this video. You can feel free to click away. You have that free right. And I'll just agree to disagree. Because when I see these defensive statistics, and I see two players on this defense that have contributed to these defensive statistics, going on podcasts, their own, and talking about the losses, I've got a problem with it, man. I have got a massive, massive problem with it. There's just so many things, in my opinion, that is wrong with these pictures right here. So many things, okay? I'm going to tell you about what those things are. I got a couple of reasons to get to, and then we're actually going to talk a little bit about some drama with John Harbaugh, so stick around for that. But before that, I need you guys to subscribe. As you know, we are in a season-long sub-battle against Steelers Talk, and right now, through the first 4 weeks of the season, we've fallen behind. Not crazy, okay? We're only down, 85 subscribers? Not terrible. I need you guys to help me out. I need to bridge that gap. I need to take the lead, if I'm being honest. So this is the perfect day to subscribe. It also doesn't cost you anything. It's free. And you get daily videos on the back end of it. Okay? So if you haven't joined us yet, join us right now by subscribing. Reason number one, like I kind of mentioned earlier, it comes off that you're not locked in. It comes off that you're not focused. It comes off that it doesn't really matter to you that much. And I know it's hypocritical of me to say that these guys shouldn't be going on YouTube talking into a microphone. Because guess what? I get paid to go on YouTube and talk into a microphone. But I'm also not on a football team right now that's 1-3. I'm also not a part of the worst defense in franchise history. And I think that's the second part of it. It's like, what kind of example are you setting for these young guys on the team? For the Mike Greens of the world, the Malachi Starks, the Anias Peebles, to when you are coming into this season with such high expectations, you're falling so short so early, and yet you're not showing that every single part of you is focused on this team and turning things around and winning football games. These guys are two of your most experienced players on this team. Kyle Van Noy being the most at 12 years in the National Football League. Marlon Humphrey has almost been in the NFL for a decade. All of the rookies, all of the young guys, they're looking at these two guys for how to act, where to go. This isn't going how you planned it. You got drafted to the Ravens. You thought it was going to be easy street. You thought you were going to walk into 12 wins, walk into the playoffs, possibly with a first-round bye, and it's not going that way. What do you do if you're Malachi Starks? You look to the veterans. And what are the veterans doing? They're podcasting. They're podcasting. Right now, this team, it needs a leader to step up. Nobody's doing it. Nobody. Not even your head coach. It just seems like everybody's looking around and saying, where do we go from here? What do we do from here on out? And nobody's stepping up and answering that question, leading the charge. My biggest props goes to Kyle Hamilton. I want to give him a shout out before we move on, because we got more coming up from John Harbaugh. But after the game against Sunday, everybody dipped. Everybody wanted to, dodge the smoke of the media. Not Kyle Hamilton. He stayed. He answered questions. Everybody likes to talk, how big and how tough they are, until they get embarrassed, lose a football game, and then they don't want to talk to the media. Kyle Hamilton. Right now, in my opinion, he's probably the biggest leader on this team. So coming up, like I promised, more drama, but this time it's from John Harbaugh. A little bit snappy answers after Wednesday's practice. Some snappy things said on Monday's press conference. We're going to talk about it all right here on the channel. But before we do that, I'm curious what your answer is. You know mine. Do you think Marlon Humphrey and Kyle Van Noy should be podcasting? Give me a yes or give me a no in the comment section down below. It's simple. Give me your answer. Another thing that's simple, if you download the PrizePicks app and use our code CLNS, you can get $50 in lineups. All you got to do is play one $5 lineup. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. PrizePicks is the only app that offers stacks, meaning you could pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. Want to pick more on Josh Allen's pass yards, rush yards, and touchdowns? Now you can pick all of them in the same lineup only on PrizePicks. Follow other PrizePicks players directly on the app and copy their lineups in one click. Whether it's a friend, a celebrity partner, or just someone whose picks you like, hit the follow button and check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab on PrizePicks. And of course, we had some Thursday night football. This was my lineup for Rams against 49ers. I had the more on Devontae Adams receiving touchdowns, the more on Matthew Stafford pass yards, and I had the less on Christian McCaffrey 48.5 receiving yards. So download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. The link to this promo is in the comments, and it's also in the description of today's video. PrizePicks, it is good to be right. Alrighty, let's get on to the drama. So on Wednesday, John Harbaugh, he had a lot of questions to answer after that practice, given all the injuries, given on everything that's happened this week. and he got a little bit snippy, okay? He said at the end of it, how about I just don't say anything? That's what I would do. Why don't we just leave it alone? The injury report will be out at 4. Whoa, John. Calm down. There's a lot going on right now. We don't need your attitude. Like I just said, we need somebody to step up, be a leader, be cool, be calm, collected. Why aren't you doing it? Okay? And then this also is frustrating, okay? He spoke to the media on Monday after the Chiefs lost. And he got asked a couple questions. He got asked about Lamar's interception. And I feel like he kind of threw Todd Monken under the bus a little bit. If you don't get what I'm saying, he said, it wasn't a good play call. It wasn't a play where we put our guys in the right position in that situation. I'm not happy with it at all. None of us are. They ran a double backer blitz inside where they were right in Lamar's face. We had downfield routes with no checkdowns. And it feels like this has kind of been consistent with how he treats Todd Monken. And it's weird because he treats Zach Orr like his little puppy dog, like a precious little flower that he wants to water, he wants to nurture, he wants to make sure it's getting enough sunlight. Zach Orr, when he talked about on Monday, said, yeah, we got confidence in all our guys. Todd Monken wasn't a good play call. And I get it. Zach Orr's young. He's new. You don't want to throw him under the bus. But Todd Monken's only been an offensive coordinator in the National Football League. This is his 3rd season. Why are you so cool throwing him under the bus? It's frustrating, man. I need more from the guy I have leading this team. That wasn't the only question he got, though. He got a question on their 4th down aggressiveness against the Kansas City Chiefs. And this one, he also gave a little bit of a snarky answer. And again, it seemed a little bit pointed at Todd Monken. He said, you're going to be aggressive. You're going to go for it. You go for it, and you don't have a good plan. You just don't. You don't have a good plan. Hey, guess what, John? You're a part of those meetings all week long. You had 6 days to prepare to play the Kansas City Chiefs. You've played Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo every year for like the last 4 seasons. You're a part of that planning, man. Part of being a head coach. Do something about it. Do something about the plan. Do something about the preparation. You're not prepared to play these football games. And then last, he got asked about the offensive predictability. Namely, like every time Justice Hill's in the game, you pass. And then if it's Derrick Henry in the game, it's like 50-50. But you know when Justice Hill's there, it's most likely going to be a pass play. And he said, you're going to do what players do well. That's important, but you're also going to change it up so it's just not predictable. And I'm not saying that John Harbaugh is wrong about any of these things, because frankly, like, he's not. But doesn't it feel a little bit to you that he's just out there hanging Todd Monken out to dry? He's not really saying much about the defense, and they've been horrific. They're the reason you're losing football games. Like I said earlier, do something about it. Don't just throw your coordinators to the media wolves. Take some responsibility, some ownership for yourself. I'm tired of it, man. I am sick of it. I'm sick. What do you think the percent chance that John Harbaugh gets fired after this year is? Scale it for me 1 to 100. I would have gone into the season saying like 3%, not saying very big at all. But now, after everything that's happened, it might be a little bit higher. Maybe 10%, 15%? I don't know. Still probably not going to happen. But you let me know what you think down below. Make sure you guys get me followed on social media as well. You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Joey Peterson8, both of those platforms. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Daily updates on your Baltimore Ravens.